Hi guys, it's Kat from Perfectly Imperfect Crafts. I am here to share an update on what I've been doing. I have, after I finished my December daily, I started a junk journal for myself, and I wanted to show that to you. It is covered with fabric. This fabric I got at, I want to say it was Hobby Lobby. And it was on clearance for like $1.50 a yard. So it was really cheap. And I bought a whole yard of it because I loved it so much. And I don't know why everything looks like it's crooked. That looks better. Okay. So it's, I can't remember. It's quite a heavy fabric. I did have a piece of it laying here, but I don't know where it went to. Anyway. So you can tell it's got like the distressed kind of blue on it. And it's got some postcards and some butterflies and stamps. And then this is the back. And it's the same fabric, the spine. And it's got 2 sewn-in signatures. This journal is unlike anything I've made in the past because I've always used the pretty papers and coordinated everything. I didn't do that this time. This journal was made from my scrap bin. I did get a little uneven, but it's mine, and so I just want to share with you what I'm doing. The December daily taught me a lot about myself, and I wanted to continue on with that. So I just put together a bunch of papers, and inside this journal, there are different papers, and I'm just going to skip past what I've done here. So there's book pages. This was a book that I bought that was all florals and wildflowers. This was a book of poetry. This was a vellum sheet that I've had for probably 20 years. Some scraps from my scrap bin. And this I can add an envelope to. Some paper that I had stamped on previously. Another piece of that poetry book. A piece of the Charlie Brown book that Jan sent me. See where I'd stamped on there. And then this I can make into a tuck. So that's that signature there. Some more book page. And this piece of paper was left over from the, I had cut one little number out of it. So I just used it. A piece of cardstock. This is some like handmade paper. It's not the, can't think of the name, but this paper I've had for probably 15 years. An index card, some more tea-dyed paper, another piece of that wildflower book. This is a piece of a really old dictionary, and it actually started to come loose, so I took some washi and taped it down. And of course some glue, back of an envelope. And here's that signature. So, and then this one, the only 2 new pieces of cardstock in this was the pieces that I used to cover the signatures with. Everything else was in my scrap bin. An old card. Some grid paper. I'm going to have to tape this one in too. And it's pretty much the same thing. I have black cardstock. This is an envelope that I took apart, and I'm going to use it in the junk journal. I just didn't sew it in. This is actually a piece of my mail. It was a credit card offer, and I thought, you know what? I can just sew over that. This I had cut a strip off of, so it's all different sizes. Nothing really matches. Another piece of that book page from the Snoopy book. And, yeah. So it's what I wanted to do. And I am having so much fun doing it. An envelope. It has my address on it. I think that was actually from my pen pal. And I need to write her. I keep forgetting. I'm not a good pen pal. And so there's the back. And now let me show you what I've been doing. I watched a lot of videos from Johanna Clow, I believe is how you say her name. Joey DeFrance, something that I'm not good with foreign names. And just 49 dragons or 49 dragonflies, something like that. I don't know. I was just watching videos one night and I come across them. So this is my junk journal, and I put in here, they are things to encourage me to keep up with my word for the year is basically self-love, to remind myself to love myself first so that I can love others. And it says here, this one I wrote myself. It says, recognize that every day was once a tomorrow and every today will be a yesterday, then live for the day. I wrote that on January 1st. And this is just a piece of napkin that I decoupaged onto the paper. I stamped the stamp out and colored it in, and it's just got some washi tape. This is some birds that I printed out probably a year ago with intentions to do something and never did. A fussy cut flower, and this one says, sometimes you have to step back and reset so that you can be the best you. And then there's some butterfly washi tape. And then this one was a hard day for me. I lost my dad 2 years ago on the 3rd. And so I wrote, 2 years ago, you went away and life has not been the same. I miss you like it was yesterday. I miss you, Dad. Love always, your youngest daughter. Because I was the youngest of 5 daughters. And then I also had 2 brothers. And these are just some little journaling cards that I had in my stash. It says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as God in Christ forgave you. Ephesians 4:23. And we all know I love butterflies. And so I put that there. And this envelope, I just deconstructed it. And then some flowers and the raindrops represent for me the sadness. And it said, so we must not get tired of doing good, for we will reap at the proper time if we don't give up. Galatians 6:10. And that quote and that scripture reminds me of my dad because of what he went through, and he didn't give up. And then the next day it was just a piece of graph paper, and I added some more of that napkin, and then I sprayed it with some distress spray, and it was too dark. So then I gessoed it, and then I wrote, every bird must find their wings, find the courage, and learn to fly, because if we never leave the nest, you will never find yourself. January 4th, 2019. And then this is a letter to myself, basically telling myself why I did this journal. It says, and I'm going to share it with you because maybe it'll inspire somebody else. So I'm making this journal for me, a place to pour my thoughts and my heart, a quiet place where no one judges and no one demands time, where time is non-existent for at least a little while, a place to find me again, to no longer be someone's puppet, and to no longer need a string to take the next step, where I can think, dream, and enjoy my time. No worries, no cares, my little pages of life, my dream place. Because we get so caught up into trying to please others that we forget in our lives to please ourselves. And this one was the dictionary page. And I have this is a piece of parchment paper. And I drew this flower out in pencil and then used distress oxides and watercolor to paint it, and then outlined it in pen and decoupaged it on. So beauty is in the eyes of the beholders here. And then sometimes wrinkles in life are more visible than others, and I have earned each and every wrinkle. And because this made me mad when I put it down because it wrinkled so badly. But I love how it came out in the end. And then this one says, never regret a day in your life. Good days give you happiness and bad days give you experience. And it's just decoupage napkin. This is a little postcard that I'd printed out a long time ago. This was sent to me by Tina from Tina's Crafty Life. some washi tape, and then some more of those little birds that I cut out. And then this one is a pocket. And then it has some journaling in there. That's actually personal journaling. If it's personal, I don't want somebody to read it, I'm going to tuck it into a pocket so that no one can. And then here I just was think happy thoughts. You know, how often do we think about the sad things and not the happy? And this one I used some tea-dyed paper, and then I just used some washi tape and some scraps of paper. The journals also, I'm going to be working on trying to use up scraps, use what I have without opening something new. So I used different washi tapes, and this was in my stash. It was a printout of a bird that I had, and it says, "His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me." And this one I love. I just love how it turned out. It says, "Don't put off your happy life. Make life beautiful one day at a time." So, and it's got my writing in there. And that, like I said, that personal writing is hidden. So January 10th, these are just scraps from my scrap bin. And I just took a piece of scrap and I cut out this heart. And I used washi tape and some stamping. And then over here I did a rose, and I stamped "Hello Beautiful" on it, and then to stop and smell the roses. And just some little birds. This was actually going to be 2 pages, but I didn't like that, so I glued them together. And then this one I made a butterfly paper clip. And this is I cut that out with a die cut a long time ago. Stuck it in my scrap bin because I didn't use it. So I glued it down partially, and then I put thinking, and it said, "One of the happiest moments of life is giving up and letting go of things that you cannot change." And it says, "Take your wings and learn to fly." And then, again, more personal journaling. And I wish I hadn't have done that because it's hard to get in there. And it says, "Fly free." And this I actually designed on the computer myself and printed it out. I never used it. See a theme in my life. And then here I did a flip out with this journaling tag. And it said, "The hardest lessons are the best lessons. They make you grow." I made this guest check tag probably 6 months ago, and I never used it. So I'm actually going to cover the journaling up because it's private journaling. So you can see the inside, and it says, "Stop trying to calm the storm. Calm yourself, and the storm will pass." So we went and took our daughter back to school that day, and it had been a snowstorm here the day before, so, and the roads were still questionable. And then this one was this same cardstock or card. Let's see if I can get the picture of it. This is what it looked like all over. So I gessoed over it, and then I used green ink and blue ink and put some ink on it, and then I drew by hand these mushrooms, drew in the grass, printed this quote out that says, "Find peace within." With the butterflies are pieces of washi tape, and then just some other washi tape. So, and then this one is, "Don't let the weakness in you affect the greatness in you." And I just did a watercolor background, and then I tore some of it, and then I added some washi tape over it. And this one, it says, "You don't have to be known for great things, but you can do great things that no one knows about. You don't need to be boastful about your deeds. Do good deeds every day. Somehow you will need to remind yourself every day that being kind and considerate, loving and giving make all the days better." And then this was yesterday's, and it's just peaceful for me. And it says, "Remember this. God made you as you are, and you are unique. God made you as you are, unique and beautiful." January 16th, 2019. And then this here is just different words that mean amazing. And it says you are enough. So that is what I'm doing. I have this today's journal page yet to do. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. It hasn't come to me. But I thought I would share with you my journey so far. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.